Hi, I'm Brad Ritchie with the QA Cafe support team. Today we're going to go over the CDRouter interface. I'm going to show you all of the different components that go into configuring devices, config files, and your test package so that you can run your tests. CDRouter has a web-based interface, so you can connect to CDRouter from anywhere. When you connect your browser to CDRouter, the first thing you'll see is a home page. That page shows you all of the most recently run test packages, and you can see the status of any currently running tests. So the way CDRouter is designed is it automatically runs any test packages without you having to be actually attached. So the web interface is only used when you need to do any configuration or launch your tests. Once you launch a test, CDRouter is off and running whether you're connected or not. So you can disconnect and wait for the test to finish, or you can monitor it in real time. When you first connect, you'll find the home page. That shows you the most recently run test or any test that's currently running. So on that page, you'll see a status bar up at the top. It shows you any tests that are currently running or the status of the most recently run test package. From there, you can restart your test package if you'd like to. Below this, you'll see a graph that shows you a comparison of the results for the most recently run tests. To right of that is another graph that shows a breakdown of each test package that ran, the relative number of passes and fails, and a timeline showing how long each test package took relative to the others. Below that is a table showing all of the test packages that ran most recently, their ID, the test package and device that you tested against, the number of tests that passed and failed, security alerts, and so forth. You can get to a test report from each one of those or any one of those items in the table or any bar in the graph here. Now, when CDRouter runs, it creates an entire emulated network around your device. So if we go to this diagram here, this is what your test environment is going to look like. The CDRouter NTA 1000 appliance is attached to your device physically via any of the Ethernet or wireless interfaces available on the system. So in this diagram, we have the ETH0 interface connected to your network. This is how you get to the user interface. It's not involved in testing, it's just for management and controlling CDRouter. The ETH1 interface is a test interface that's connected to the LAN side of the device. ETH2 is connected to the WAN side of the device. On any of the test interfaces that you have connected, CDRouter will emulate any clients or services that are needed to run its test scripts. This creates a complete network environment that makes the device think that it's actually deployed. So when the device boots up, it requests an address and CDRouter responds, assigning an address to that device. CDRouter also creates a DHCP client on the LAN that requests an address from your device. And then when any scripts are running, traffic that's sent by CDRouter is forwarded through that device and received on the opposite interface. So CDRouter controls all of the information, all of the packets that are sent and received from each of its test packages. The three main components that are involved in creating and running your tests are devices, configurations, and packages. So I'll give you an overview of each of those. Devices show a model of the device that you're testing. These are used for identifying the device and associating them with any test results that are created. Configurations contain all of the settings that CDRouter uses to create that network environment. So it defines all of the servers that CDRouter creates, all of the clients, any addressing associated with it. So you can specify specifically what addresses are assigned to the device, what each of its servers use, and so forth. Any features that are enabled on your device, you can specify there. And each of those servers can be customized any way you want. The test packages are what you actually run on CDRouter. So every test package contains a list of the tests that you've selected, and they each use a config file and a device that you are testing against. Once you've created that test package and associated that config file and device, you can launch it right from the test packages window here, and CDRouter will start running tests. So every time you launch a test package, CDRouter puts it into a queue and begins running tests. It creates that test environment. Once the device is fully booted and initialized and CDRouter verifies the connectivity, it will start running its test scripts and creates a report as it goes. As soon as the test package is launched, you can disconnect from the user interface. CDRouter is automatically running whether you're connected to the user interface or not. Once the test package is running, it shows up in the results view. So the results page shows all of the test results on your system. Test packages that are currently running will be shown at the top of the list. When you click on any of the entries in the test results list, it will take you to a report of that test run. Up at the top, again, you see the status of the test run. You see the number of passes and fails, the time it took. There's information about which test package you ran and the device you tested against. There's additional information here. When you expand this section, it shows you any tags associated with those results. You can add notes to this test run. It shows you when it was started and when it finished. And you also have a snapshot of the test package, the configuration, and the device, so that if those get changed later on, you have a saved version of each of those within this test report. And then below that, you see each of the tests that were executed and the pass or fail status of that test right in the left-hand margin. So it's clearly indicated here. Every test has a detailed log associated with it so that you can troubleshoot, you can investigate any test failures. All of the traffic that was sent and received by CDRouter, any debug messages are available so that you can trace through exactly what happened during that test and isolate the root cause of any failures. You can filter these test reports so you can show just the test failures if you'd like. You can view a printable report that is a high-level view of the test run, so it doesn't include all of that detailed information. This is useful for anybody who's interested in the test results without all of that low-level debugging information. This shows you a formatted view of the test results with a graph of the number of passes and fails and all of the results for each test. This is accessible via the URL up at the top of the page, or you can print it to a PDF and send it in an email, for example. You can also download the results as a CSV to your browser by clicking here. You can access all of the individual packet captures and test logs from the Logder page. These can be exported into a zip file if you want to archive them somewhere or look into individual files. You can see a graphical view of the test run here. This shows you each test individually, and higher up on the graph shows that it took longer. This is useful if you see a long string of failed tests. This might indicate a problem that happened during the test run where maybe the device rebooted or went offline or there was a problem with the test environment. You can also compare test runs to previous test runs by clicking the Visualize Package button here. So here on the right-hand side, this is the test report that we were just looking at. Next to it, you can see each of the previous test runs for this particular test package. So you can compare them to each other, see how each one did, any differences or changes or problems that may indicate something you need to look into. You can filter the results page with different filters here on the left-hand side, so you can see all of the results for any particular device. You can filter on a particular test package name, and that will show you all of the test packages that match, all of the test results that match that test package. You can also look for results that have a particular test that was run. When you enter that test, it will show you all of the test results that have that test in it. And on the left-hand side, you'll see a color bar to show you whether that test was passed or failed or whether it did not run at all. You can also compare test runs to each other. So I can select multiple test results here and then click the Diff Results button. And that will show a table of all the tests in each of those test runs and how their result compares with each of the other ones. So you can use these filters if I want to show only tests that had differences between them. From here, I can click on any of these columns to look at that particular test. Within each test log, you'll find a complete description of the test that ran. You'll see references to any specifications such as RFCs that test might be based on. And then below that, you'll see all of the debug info that CDRouter generated during that test. So that shows what that test is doing at that particular point in the test. Any of CDRouter's servers or clients that are running and sending traffic or doing anything, messages from those will be shown in the log file here. And then CDRouter also takes a packet capture of every interface involved during the test and merges those together with the log messages so that you can see where packets were sent or received as they happened within the test execution. You can click on any of these packets to get a full decode of that right within your test log. So rather than having to open up your packet capture separately and then line up timestamps with each other, they're all merged together and you can do all of your troubleshooting right in line in this log window. When you find any issues with your test, you can highlight them by clicking the left-hand margin. So if you click the line number, that will highlight your line. And then you can add comments to that line by clicking on the dot next to the line number. Once you add your comments, those are saved right in the log file here. So when you come back to it, you'll see all of your comments. You can then send the URL to any colleagues who are also looking at this. So it's very easy to collaborate with other people just by sending that URL. So you don't have to collect all of the capture files, any log files, and send those in an email along with the description. You just send the URL. All of your comments in the log file are here for anybody else to look at. They can leave their own comments and you can collaborate and troubleshoot results together right within CDRouter. And these are all stored and saved for later. You can rerun test runs straight from the web interface here, from the test report. So if you click restart from within your test results, you can then rerun the entire test run. There's an option to rerun only the failed tests, or you can rerun a subset of tests just by entering which test you want to start at and which test you want to end at. So if you want to rerun a single test, just begin and stop at that test, or you can run a block of tests by specifying that range. You can also add additional tags. You can override the config file. So if you want to rerun this set of tests using a different config file or against a different device, you can override those using these drop downs. Once you've done that, you can click restart and CDRouter begins running that test immediately. And you can continue on analyzing your test results, looking at other tests, and so forth. So that was a general overview of the CDRouter user interface. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions at all about our training videos or anything at all, feel free to contact us at support@qacafe.com.